Well, hi everyone, it's Pete here from the Pain Toolkit, and just like to say massive thank you to Chronic Pain Australia for inviting me along to giving a presentation to you, albeit a short one, during your National Pain Week. Such an important week this is in our calendar year for people living with persistent pain. Hey, listen, I've got some slides to show you, so let's have a look here. Let's have a look at the first one. And you know, this is quite a common statement I hear from people who email me, you know, who've gone on to become getting into self-management, as they say. And they say, why didn't anyone tell me about pain self-management before being offered copious amounts of medications and treatments? One of the main reasons why this happens, really, and it's not, don't get too angry with the healthcare professional, it's there's a couple of reasons going on. And the first one really is a lot of, many healthcare professionals, when they're in training, self-management hasn't been in their curriculum. So they've learned about treatments and what they're going to do to you or do to us and give us, etc. And self-management hasn't actually been in their learning curriculum. So they can't tell us something they haven't actually been taught. And the other thing is, as well, is that there's sometimes there's a lack of time, perhaps in the decision makers in their locality, perhaps not forthcoming and building self-management programs for help people, whether they're face-to-face or online, etc. So there's quite a few speed bumps here why self-management isn't offered, I guess, from the get-go, really. But for me, it's about, you know, us learning. We need to sort of get ourselves back in the driving seat. You're going to hear me talk about this quite a bit today, about getting ourselves back in the driving seat. So let's have a look what we're going to be learning today. Let's have a look here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I won't going to go into my war story too much, but a little bit, you know, a little bit of my journey. And why we need to keep, you know, that little saying, why do we need to get ourselves back in the driving seat? You know, if you think about, I'm getting ahead of myself here, so we'll talk about that. Why do we and healthcare professionals get stuck? Okay, very, very common. A little video I want to show you, and so I think it'll explain things. So, what does self-management mean? A lot of people get stuck with that, thinking that they're on their own. I'll explain a little bit more about that. But I'll be looking at the pain cycle, how people get stuck in that as well. Then we're going to be looking at, moving on, it's about how can we be more resilient on self-management, getting on with our lives, I suppose, etc. And then we're looking at the 5 pain self-management skills that people have come up with over the years. So let's move on. This is me. So back in the day, I was, you know, I struggled like most people were living with long-term pain. I was pretty much a doctor shopper, therapy shopper. Anybody with an histology after their name, I went and saw. In dollars, I think, going on a current rate, I've spent about $16,000 or so back in the early 90s on anybody with an histology after their name. I was in it to it big time. Like, I didn't really take any responsibility at all. I was looking for answers from other people, I guess, you know. But what got me back on track, I went to a pain management program. I got myself in a pain management program called Input in London. And what that program gave me was the tools and skills. But more importantly, it gave me the confidence to manage my pain myself. And I'm pleased to say that since '97, I've not had to take any pain meds, all because of I'm still doing the stuff that they taught me way back then. Do I still live with pain? Yeah, I still do now. In fact, I've got more pain issues now than I did back in the early 90s. So then I just had back pain. But as I've become an older dude, you know, arthritis, and I've lived with prostate cancer and stuff like that, I get different sort of weird pains. But I'm still using the tools back from '96 that keeps the pain levels down so I can get on with my life, etc. As I say, I didn't really have a structured life back in the early 90s. Everything was all, you know, life really revolved around TV programs, I guess, you know. I was fighting to move, etc., you know. But once I got moving, it, you know, cracked on, and everything seemed to fall into place. Last 25 years or so, I've been doing, I wrote the Pain Toolkit, which is available, by the way, on on the Australian Pain Management site now, Australian Pain Management Association, I should say, as a download. It's all specialised, dedicated to Australia, and I've written other booklets as well for other health conditions, painful conditions like fibromyalgia and back pain, and people with mental health issues who live with pain, etc., and carers. So this is what I've been up to the last sort of 20 odd years or so. But in recent years, I've been working with Teesside University in the northeast, using how we can develop virtual reality for people with long-term pain. So that's getting quite interesting now. I was recently in Nijmegen in Holland, a conference there, and I was there 3 years ago, and I can say now, educational self-management of using VR and whatnot is really cracking on. Anyway, enough about that. There's a few memberships I'm a member of there on the right-hand side. I won't go through them. So this is where I live. Live in, that'll be about 90 kilometres northeast of London, in a county called Essex, a little village called Mistley. Quite a nice little area, got a bit of a river there, quite historical. Okay, this is that phrase I was telling you about, keep yourself in a driving seat. You know, if you think back to when you those that learned to drive out there, whereabouts did you sit when you was learning to drive? You were sitting in the driving seat, of course, but why? Because that was the place that was your place of learning. And that is the same for us. We want to get ourselves back on track, get on with our lives in spite of our pain. We need to take more control. We need to take more responsibility, and we need to get back in a driving seat. And I'll tell you what, if I can do it, you can do it. Simple as that. I'm going to show you a little video in here now. So it explains really why we get stuck. Have a look. Who do these guys in the video remind you of? Oh, you click the wrong button there. There you go.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do, is there?
Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second.
He said he could fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it.
So can you see the problem there? You know, it's like we get stuck, and guess what? The healthcare professional gets stuck as well. Yeah, listen, we've got to remember they've only got a certain amount of resources in their toolkit. You know, they just run out like us. Like, you know, we get stuck, they get stuck. And this is where self-management comes in. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that now. Let's see, get me on the right side. There you go. So what does self-management mean? Self-management really is about teamwork. We need each other really. For us to move on, we need some help. Now, who's on your team really? It can be your healthcare professional, it can be a friend, a family member, it could be even a work colleague really. It's the good thing about self-management is that we can be creative. It's around looking around for people who we think we need that help us move on. But it's a collaborative thing, okay? So it doesn't mean that you're going it alone. It's about teamwork. And back in the day, I've had several people in my team. It's been like Nurse Joe from the surgery, or be a buddy of mine, or I learn from other self-managers as well. So, to me, I'm still learning myself, and it's a lifelong thing, because as I've become an older person, as I said, other things come along. So I need to perhaps tweak the strategies that I've got so I can get on and still have maintain quite a good life. So get people, build a support team around you. Don't forget a little message there, a pacing break. Have you had your pacing break today? A lot of us, we use our pain as a guide, etc., and that's not good pain self-management. Pacing our daily activities allows us to do more throughout the day, but without increasing our pain. This is a pain cycle in the Pain Toolkit. If you say download that from the Australian Pain and Management Association, you'll see that in there. And when people see this pain cycle, they say, "My God, it's like looking in the mirror." And for a lot of people, it is like, because they can see themselves in it because of the common problems that living with pain causes. It's a cycle that we've got to get out of, okay? And this is where the help and support from a healthcare professional or say someone else in your team can help you do that. Now, if you notice in the pain cycle, there a lot of them are negative, and I think one of the tools in the toolkit is about tracking our progress. Because look, managing pain, it don't happen overnight. Well, it didn't for me anyway, and it doesn't for other people as well. So our progress can be very slow. Sometimes we can get a little bit frustrated. Well, what's happening? Am I really improving? But how am I today? A lot of people use this now. It's a good guide for you to see how you're progressing, but it's also a fantastic guide for a member of your team to see track your progress, and so you can keep on track. It's about, perhaps we need to tweak things when things perhaps ain't going right. It's about also being resilient. I learned this only a few years ago from a good buddy of mine. He's become a good buddy, and my buddy of mine called Keith Meldrum, and I met him at the World Pain Congress over there in Boston in the US in 2018. And he talked about resilience in his presentation. But at that term, I've heard of the term, I knew of the term, resilience. But it's sort of it was like a little an idea that germinated. I suppose it took me a bit of time to get my head around, and I really agree with him. We need to be a lot more resilient on how we manage it. I think we are. I think the fact that we wake up, a lot of people wake up each day and thinking, "Oh my God, how much pain am I going to be in today?" But we keep going. So I think we've got that resilience, but perhaps we need to channel it in different areas. And this is, sort of some ideas I've come up with about being more optimistic, having that self-belief, having a bit more of a control over what we do ourselves, the willingness to adapt, the willingness to be flexible, like the willow tree, it's flexible in the wind, etc. Solve problems, look, we get problems in life, mate. Everybody gets problems, but with people with pain, we're not very good at that, and also that problem seems to amplify it, stresses as we get stressed out and whatnot. That increases our pain levels. So it's how can we solve little problems that come along, or big problems? Having that emotional awareness, we all know that pain has an emotional toll on us as well. Having that social support, they talk about the biopsychosocial model, but a lot of them talk about the bio side of pain management and the psychology bit, but they talk about the social side of it, So social can mean like if you're in, perhaps if you're living in the housing conditions are not good and all that can actually cause us extra pain as well, being in that unhappy job, etc. That last one there, having a sense of humour. I don't know if you know this, they call me the Mushroom Man. Why do they call me the Mushroom Man? Well, of course, I'm a fun guy to be with, anyway. And I think we need to have when we get back on track, when we get back in our driving seats, etc. It's about having fun in life as well. I always ask people, when was the last time you bought yourself an ice cream? What I mean by that is when was the last time you did something nice for yourself, had a bit of fun, etc. So resilience is one of the key things we need to learn as well. So I also spoke at the beginning about the 5 key pain self-management skills. Now, believe it or not, these didn't come up from a healthcare professional. Over the years, I've been asking people, other self-managers, what is it? What were the key things that you learned that keep you upright and got on with your life? And I've been collating them, and these are the 5 things. I've come up with these about 5 years ago. And to keep the 5 things they said that keep them upright and help them get on with their life was about setting goals. It's about setting goals. We need to set ourselves little short-term goals, medium goals, long-term goals, but also how we're going to action plan them. How are we going to achieve those goals? It's about pacing our daily activities. As I said, a lot of us use our pain as a guide as when to stand, stop, do things and whatnot. But that's the pain managing us. We need to learn pain self-management skills where we take a break before we think we need to. Okay, I can go into, there's lots of videos on the website about a bit more than that. That goes into it a little bit more. Look for tool 3 on the website. But pacing our daily activities are really, really big key for us in managing our pain. Keeping active, moving, stretching, exercise. They call it meaningful movement a day. If you find an exercise or something like yoga, tai chi, walking, an activity where it involves moving, if you choose one for yourself, you're more likely to keep it up. I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to go, I'm not a gym person. Well, I wasn't back in the day, but I only go down here because I like going down here. It keeps my pain levels down. But if you're not a gym person, then, there's no point in joining the gym. But it's about finding an activity. There might be like an online class that you could join, a yoga class, where you can keep active and stuff like that. Believe you me, keeping active, that for me keeps all my pain levels down so I can get on with my life. Last one there, knowing what to do if something goes wrong. Hey, listen, the things do go wrong in life. And when they do go wrong, it can stress us out and our pain levels go up and everything. So knowing what to do if something goes wrong, have a setback plan. Okay, I think modern day cars now, they don't have spare wheels, but if you've got got a van, I've got a spare wheel, so if I get a puncture, I can spot the wheel over and get on with my life, etc. and get on with my journey. And that's having a setback plan exactly like that. This is one I would like you putting this one up there for you. This is one for the fridge, it's about setting a goal, making a plan, get to work, stick to it, reach your goal. Okay, so print that one off and take a screenshot of it and take, stick it on your fridge as a reminder. We've got to keep moving forward. We can learn from the past, but we've got to keep moving forward, get on with our lives. This is quite a nice, quite a newish one I put together recently. It's about we've got motivation and habits. And as you can see there, we've got the motivation is the orange line there. And then motivation, we get a bit enthused and we dip off and stuff like that. Well, motivation is great. We need that motivation back to get us going. But it's the habits, it's the daily habits of self-managing our pain that will get us back on track. Okay, it's the day I get up in the morning, I have 2 mugs of hot lemon, sliced lemon, put hot water in there. Every day I do that. Then I'll get on and start watching, put TV on and I'll start doing my little exercises and stuff like that, stretching, get that done. Then I'll nip down the gym and do some more down there. That's become a habit for me now. I don't go to the gym 7 days a week. I just go Monday through Friday. I might have a break during the week as well. It's about changing a record as well. Don't be, I say habits are great, but sometimes you've got to make them a bit more interesting as well, So, but learning new habits, that will keep you on track. Coming towards the end now, this is one of my favourite sayings. It's actually from an Australian lady called Sarah Henderson, and I think she's passed away now. I think she was a sheep farmer. But I love it, I've saw this about 20 odd years ago, and I always use it in my presentations. Don't wait for the light to appear at the end of the tunnel. Stride down there and light the bloody thing yourself. Now, and that's about it. We got to, a lot of people say, oh, yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but, is it an express train coming away? It's not. It's about, we've got to take action, get into action. And as I said earlier on, if I can do it, you can do it. So there you go, guys, we've come to the end now. So I hope you found the presentation useful. Don't forget on the right hand side there, you see the Australian pain management, Australian version of the Pain Toolkit. It's available as a download on painmanagement.org.au. If you want to get in contact, you can get in contact via the website. I'm on social media at Pain Toolkit 2, also on Facebook and Instagram. Anyway, hope you found it useful, and keep in contact. Let me know what you thought of the presentation. If you need, perhaps you need some ideas or whatever, I'm just an email away. Take care, be cool and groovy. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Take care. Ciao.